Hello people, how are you all? I hope you are doing great. I know this has been the longest of the gaps I had on my YouTube channel, but now I'm gonna start a segment that I have to post weekly in order to maintain that. So, crossing my fingers that I will remain consistent from now on. And yeah, let me tell you more about this segment. And people who have been here before, welcome back. And people who are new, welcome. This is Mansi from Readers and Creators. So, this weekly thing would be named as Books This Week. I have been reading lot of book reviews in English newspapers lately from past 1 month. And then I thought that lot of books out of these I don't see on Bookstagram or BookTube. And why not tell about it to my followers, to my audience, to fellow readers. So I'm starting this. Here I will tell you about all the books released in a week, published or launched, or new editions, and their genre, their author, and what that book is about. And if that interests you, you can go ahead and buy it online or offline. So yeah, today I'm going to discuss about 6 books that were published, launched, or came out in new edition. So the first book is Shakespeare's Sisters. I know, no, yes, listen to me. Shakespeare's Sisters, 4 women who wrote the Renaissance. Now, for the Renaissance period, we know one author, Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, and we talk about him, we read him a lot in literature studies and everywhere. But there are 4 women, Amelia Lanier, Mary Sidney, Anne Clifford, Elizabeth Cary, who are not actually Shakespeare's sister, but they are referred to as his sister because they were famous literary writers of Renaissance period, but they couldn't get that same name and fame that William Shakespeare got. So this author, Remy Targoff, he did a thorough research about these authors and wrote this book, Shakespeare's Sisters, where he also took some part of their work and included in his book, and talked about how many of these females wrote anonymously, because at that time female writers were not appreciated as much. Second book is Takis Revolt, which is written by Vincent Brown. Now this book is put in the category of geopolitics, but author said in one of the interview that his niche was not talking about geopolitics, but rather about the slavery, about the first revolt slaves did. Winston Churchill also called that revolt as First European World War. So yeah, that interests me so much. This book falls in the category of history, slavery, and geopolitics, we can say, but author denied that. And he said that if you want to read it from that perspective, you can, but I didn't wrote it from that perspective. Third book is Crooked Seeds by Karen Jennings. This book is a thriller fiction which talks about racism, colonialism, patriarchy, and violence. Now imagine, a thriller fiction talks about history. Such a weird but interesting combination, right? Well, this is a novel based on post-apartheid South Africa, and I have read only Born a Crime by Trevor Noah, which is apparently a comic plus memoir kind of thing. And through that book, sadly, I got to know about post-apartheid period in South Africa. But I want to read this to know and learn more about that. Although this is a fiction thriller, so I can't say that the facts would be 100% true, but it can give me a brief knowledge about it. Fourth book is for all the fantasy fans, The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshni Chokshi, by an Indian writer. And this is adult fantasy and gothic also. And I read the review in Telegraph, and that review captivated me so much, but I'm not sure that I will pick this book because I'm not a fantasy fan, first of all, and the review sounded a little weird. There's a girl who then becomes bride, and then she has some powers, and like that there's a girl, like a small girl. So the review was very weird, but if you are a gothic fan, if you are a fantasy fan, you can give it a try. So yeah, just this book, I can't say much about it. Okay, so next title is very big, so I have to read it from the notebook. The Long Strider in Jahangir's Hindustan, in the footsteps of the Englishmen who walked from England to India in the year 1613. Written by Dom Marcus and Sarayu Srivastava. This book falls in history, travel, and non-fiction category. the name itself covers half portion of the book. Well, jokes apart, I recently read a travel book which is mixed with history and spirituality. That is Monastery of Solitude by Moin Mir, and that book was wow, literally wow. So this book, as boring as it sounds, maybe it can also turn out like that. So I don't know, I might give it a read. But if you are a travel fan, if you are a history fan mixed up with travel, then you can read it. Okay, so that was that. I hope you liked it, and before leaving I will leave you one question so that it just bound you or make you do some research. So the question of this segment is, who's the father of India's library movement? If you know the answer, please comment. And yeah, if you like it, please comment so that I can make the second segment on next Sunday. Bye bye. Keep reading, be happy, be safe.